Hey, what's going on, guys? Kezon McNeill here, your career advisor. Today, we're going to talk about certifications. When it's time to maybe get a certification because it could lead to more money or career advancement. Let's talk about it. Okay, guys, we're going to talk about certifications. In the metropolitan area here in what we call the DMV, you have a lot of companies who require clearances anywhere from public trust up to full scope polygraph, right? So some of which I'm going to say today is going to be centered around knowing your area and where you work, right? So as it pertains to certifications, we can have anything from ITIL, PMP, CCNA, Security Plus. The list goes on and on. Okay. Now, what's happening here in I would say, the government contract world, where you have a lot of companies who hire individuals for government contracts, a lot of those prerequisites on those contracts require things such as a PMP for things like project manager positions, CCNAs, Security Plus, CAPS, you name it. But one certification that's very consistently being asked for is a Sec Plus, also a Security Plus. It may say CompTIA Security Plus. That is a baseline 8570 certification that a lot of government contracts per the customer is now requiring to actually join the contract. So you could have 10, 15 years experience, and it's crazy. I know it's crazy, but they want you to now have what they call a Security Plus. Now, there are other certifications that fall under the 8570 that trump those, that trumps Security Plus, and the CCNA, CCNP, CISM, I think is one as well. But that baseline cert, that Security Plus, is now becoming a requirement. So for all of you individuals out there working like help desk opportunities, desktop support, you could be asked to have that, certification. It's something you can probably study for. I would say probably give yourself 3 weeks to study, and then you should be able to pass it. But it does cost to take the test, so just keep that in mind. But as we talk about when it's time to get a certification, I really believe that depending on the opportunity, but then also, the opportunity you're going to be seeking, but also looking at where you are in your professional career as it stands now, and then sitting down saying, well, hey, I'm ready to go to this level or that level. You're looking to increase your income or your responsibilities or your job title. A lot of positions now, they do like when you have certifications. It is what it is. I know there's a saying in the staffing world here, in the recruiting world, that we think it's like, man, they're asking for so much. I've seen candidates on paper be amazing fits for an opportunity. The experience is there, the education is there, but they do not feel the requirement with the certification that particular position is asking for. And can we say it sucks? Can we say experience should outweigh that? Yeah, we can say all that, but at the end of the day, guys gotta have that certification. So what do? I think it's good to start adding certifications based on your career path and based on where you are technically. If you're in systems administration, any type of networking, I definitely recommend you start looking at least a Security Plus. Then maybe the CCNA, CCNP is another good cert to have. But understanding that the dynamic of the geographical location you live in, okay, we're in the Washington, D.C. area here, it's 95% government contract jobs. And when you're dealing with government contract opportunities, they're going to ask you for a certification, I would say 75, 80% of the time. It looks good on paper. It just lets them know that you understand the methodology or process, but it checks that box. So for all you individuals out there who have the experience or you're still young in your career, a great certification to start with would probably be the Sec Plus from a technical standpoint. Just knock that out, and you'll probably notice once you repost your resume or start looking at opportunities, you'll start to get more calls, because that Sec Plus is a baseline certification that, is required on, I would probably say, 60% of these contracts now, right? Again, there are certifications that trump that, but the Security Plus, also known as a Sec Plus, is a baseline cert that I think you guys should really think about grabbing. All right. So, in recapping here, it's always a good time to get new certifications. Okay, and then you have to keep them up with the continuing education, obviously. But I think it just shows on paper when you're presenting your resume for positions to hiring managers and things like that. They see that well, this candidate has really kept up with the technology. They're actually improving their skills by getting these certifications. So with that being said, guys, I hope you guys got something out of this episode here. Please hit the link below if you are at the point where you're ready to start interviewing, or you're thinking about looking at another opportunity where you can set up a mock interview with me to prepare. Just like we talk about these athletes and actors, they prepare, they practice. You can't just go to the game without practice. You know what I mean? So prepare yourself, and what better way than to have a mock interview with someone with over 22 years experience in the recruiting and human capital industry to help you tweak your interview, what to say, what not to say, how to be really prepared and polished, so that you not only go in there and just interview, but you go in there and impress the hiring managers. All right, so hit the link below. There's a link to set up a mock interview with myself. And a lot of companies right now are moving to virtual hiring based on the current circumstances of the country. But we're going to talk about phone interviews. We're going to talk about Zoom interviews, and just make sure that you're ready. We want to make sure that you're ready so that you go in there prepared for those interviews. So there's a link below you can hit if you're interested in that. And then also, I want to make you guys aware that when you are deciding what certification you're thinking about getting, make sure it's something that's in line with your current career path. So for example, I wouldn't expect someone who's a CPA to go out and get a Security Plus. It just doesn't correlate with what you're doing. It's not going to be needed. However, if you're working on the help desk or doing some desktop support, network engineering, anything technical, where you're working on government contracts, yes, it's probably a good idea to start with that baseline cert. All right. So if you like what you saw today, please hit the like button for me. Just smash it. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you are interested in hearing about more things that I have to say when it comes to career development and then also personal finance, please subscribe to the channel. All right. And guys, I hope you really got something out of this episode. Remember, most important thing is to always run your race.